Mic check. Can you hear my sound? Yes or no? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We had some technical difficulty with the sound, but I think we're okay right now. Just give me a show ones if you can hear my sound. We changed cameras, no sound. No sound. Someone's saying no sound. Okay. Okay. Hey. Okay, we hear you. Okay. All right. Oh, okay. Oh my goodness. All right. Okay. So I didn't want to delay the show any longer. We changed mics and we changed cameras actually. I had a camera over here and I have one over here, but that camera is it's not acting right now. But with that said, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I know we were supposed to start the show at a certain time, but hey, we're here. We're here. So first and foremost, we're gonna do a little roll call. Let's see who's in here. Someone said it's not clear. It's not clear. It's not clear. Okay. Okay, we're not going to listen. We're going to work through this. We're going to have to work through this for right now until we change mics. But we're not changing mics right now. And see, here's the problem. We were on a shoot earlier, and we moved some equipment, so we had to kind of change mics temporarily, and then we kind of changed cameras as well. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into some things. I appreciate those who have joined the show tonight. We're talking about a very important topic, and that is someone saying the voice is gobbled. Okay. All right. You know something? We're gonna try something else here. Hold on. We may have to switch mics again. We may have to switch mics again. I know I have a second mic here. We may have to switch mics here. Some are saying it's gobbled. Gobble, like Thanksgiving gobble. Tiffany, oh my goodness. It's going to be a show tonight. We got Tiffany in the building. Oh my goodness. I ain't going to act up tonight, Tiffany. I'm not going to act up tonight. But I don't like I don't like my audio because I'm hearing the feedback myself. And this has to be very, very understood. It has to be very understood. And I want to make sure. Okay, so some are saying better. I mean, I got to let my mods tell me. My mods, you got to let me know. What is it, mods? Okay, so I'm a little loud. Okay, I'm a little loud. But I'm always loud, by the way. So it is what it. Okay, let me see. Let me try this here. Let me clip it on. Hold on. Okay, how's that? Is that better? How about that? Is that better? Is that better? Is that better? Because if I can't hear it clear, it's okay. It's better. Okay, you say it's better. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get to some things. So first and foremost, thank you for telling my voice is clear. I guess I'll listen to the feedback. First and foremost, the reason why we're doing the show tonight is because over the last couple of days, well, actually last week or so, there's been a lot of things flown on the internet as related to Angie Stone and her passing. And there have been many, I won't say many, certain content creators have been, I would just say, run amok of sorts, where they are trying to ascertain or explain things about the passing of Angie Stone, and the information is just all wrong. Fortunately, I had an opportunity to speak to various people that was a part of this story closely. And I want to talk about some of the things I've heard, and I'm sure you guys have heard it as well, because there's been people who have essentially put Miss Stone places where she wasn't. And I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, right now, that one of the misconceptions was that no one other than Miss Stone was hurt in that vehicle. That is not true. Everyone in that vehicle was hurt. There are some people that are in wheelchairs right now. There are some people that are in wheelchairs right now. According to my sis and what I saw, at the services, the people who made it, they were in wheelchairs. There was an ambulance on standby just in case anyone had any issue. But more importantly, she wasn't the only one. She was the only one that died, but she wasn't the only one that was a part of that sustained serious injuries. With that said, there was this conversation about her being the last one out the vehicle. And from my sources, when she was being brought out, before she was able to get out the vehicle, the 18-wheeler hit the vehicle. There were other people, when the 18-wheeler hit the vehicle, there were other people in that vehicle. So the notion that she was the last one out and she was seen sitting on the side of the road and someone's talking to her or was trying to talk to her, that is not true. And unfortunately, there are a lot of people who ran with that story. But it's important. Someone said I'm going in and out. Video is lagging. Okay. Okay, so what we're going to do now. Okay, so what we're going to do right now. Okay, it's lagging. I'm going to switch cameras right now. So I want you guys to stand by. We're going to switch cameras. Unfortunately, this high-tech camera won't be able to sustain the connection speed I have right now. So we're going to switch cameras. Let's see if that helps. How about that? Is that better? It's a little darker, but tell me if it's still lagging. Is that better? Okay. I'm going to have to do a part 2 on this. But what I want to do is I want to make sure you guys are able to hear. I'm going to be playing one of the interviews now. And then I'm going to end the live and come back. And we're going to continue this. But we're going to play one interviews. I've interviewed her ex-husband, interviewed others who have known her. And I also interviewed someone very important as it relates to her money. And this individual, I've known him for many years. And he's someone that knows how to go and get the money. If there's money to be had, he knows how to get it. And for those who are in the music business or those who are in the media business, his name sounds very familiar. If those who are following music and have been following music for many years, you know the story of Prince and how Prince had to go and get his money. Well, this person, and many of them know him by the name of McMillan. Londell McMillan is a veteran entertainment attorney, an investor, and the recipient of the 2025 Grammy Awards. And he is someone that I respect highly in this business, and he can put things in perspective as it relates to Angie's money, whatever that is. He's the guy to know how to go and get it. And we're going to play his interview shortly. We're also going to play the interview of Angie's husband, who had some very interesting things to say as well. And I would also say that other members of the family, that would be the children, they have attorneys right now. They have attorneys right now. And when I'm told there are people that they may be going after for putting out misinformation. And that's all I can say as it relates to the children. But what I can say right now is we're going to play part of the interview. Yes, that's correct. And my condolences again to Michael and Diamond and Angie's grandchildren. Angie's grandchild. Well, right on the plate interview from Londell. Let me know, guys, if you can hear this. Here we go.
To follow me, and she had put in my message that she had wanted to talk to me.
Oh, wow.
And I have a message from her, and I never, ever.
Guys, can you hear that? Put a 1 in that if you can hear that audio. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear that audio. I want to make sure you can hear it. If you can hear the interview, put a 1 in. I want to make sure you guys can hear the interview. Okay, here we go. Okay, so what Londell told me today was that Angie tried to reach out to him. She tried to reach him. She tried to reach out to him, and she knows he knows her. She knows him, but she tried to reach out to him. However, he didn't see the message. I mean, this is a very, very, very busy man, and he probably gets tons of messages. And as he looked at his phone and looked at Angie's name, he saw that she tried to reach out to him. So he tells me the story, and here it goes.
She had attempted to follow me, and she had put in my message that she had wanted to talk to me.
Oh, wow.
And I have a message from her, and I never, ever saw it. Never saw it. And it struck me, and I saw that last week.
Oh, my goodness.
It struck me as odd because I thought she always had my phone number because she would call me often when I was representing D'Angelo back in the days, and my number really hasn't changed.
No, I haven't had it for a long time.
Yeah, so I'm very saddened to hear that she's passed and that she's was having troubles. But you know, these troubles are not, unfortunately, right, not uncommon, right, with these record music companies. You know, it's not an easy job. It's a very tough business. And so you got to be vigilant, and you got to know what you're doing for, know what you're looking for, know how to get it done, and they got to respect you. And if you don't have that, they're going to try you.
Without giving like any particular strategy, what are the general things you look for when trying to investigate or ascertain if there is actual validity to some of the claims that, you know, obviously artists make, especially back in the 90s?
Yeah, royalty statements or the lack thereof, the contracts. You got to look at the contracts. You got to look at the royalty statements or the lack thereof. And you got to start. You got to start there. And then also artists now can try to seek terminations under their copyright.
Right. That's what I said this morning. I talked to Isaac Hayes Jr. or the third had said that terminating the copyrights.
I got his father his master back before the termination was even a thing.
Wow.
I represented his father.
I didn't know that. I did not know
I represented his father. Yeah. I got his father the ownership of the Shaft master recording before the terminations were even a thing for him, before the time period was. So
did it change from 50 years to 30 something years, the copyright expiration?
The term 35 years.
35 years. Okay.
After 1978.
Okay. So with that, before I go on, there was also some discussion about what happened to D'Angelo and why didn't he show up at the funeral. Well, I can confirm for you, ladies and gentlemen, that D'Angelo did have an intent to show up. His security actually came in advance of him, you know, before he got there. Well, he didn't actually make it there, but he was heading from New York, and his security was already at the church waiting for him to get there. And for whatever reason, and we don't know till right now, why didn't he make it there with the security? But he had the intention on being there because the security was there in advance of him. So anything could have happened. Perhaps, you know, he you know, anything could have happened. But he did have intention on being there. So I hear people saying, why didn't D'Angelo show up? He did have an intention on being there, but who knows? Who knows? But let's continue to listen.
The artists who had recorded from 1978. So we look, well, artists from the period of maybe 1995 to maybe 2005 would fall in that window. My math might be a little off. I didn't do a calculate. I'm just trying to calculate the time period from 73.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, they have to provide notice. It's a process. You know what I mean?
It's a process.
You know, but yeah. All of those artists have a window to get things done. So.
And Tyler Perry obviously stepped in for the family, and to help with a homegoing.
So what did he do? He paid for the funeral.
Yeah, he paid pretty much. He paid for the services in Atlanta. I don't know to the extent of him paying for he's wrote a check. I would just say that he came in and took care of a lot of stuff. You can, if you saw the service, you can see how the production was. They made sure that there was no cameras outside of the production that was shooting, even for the media. And I also was told, and it's interesting, I was told by one of the productions that they're doing a movie.
Oh, good. On her life?
Apparently they were shooting that for a movie. So
yeah, well, he was definitely front and center in the whole thing.
Yeah, and he when he said about the where's the money at, I mean that struck a chord heavy. Because there were a lot of artists back, coming up. I was with Polygram back in the late 80s. So I did the royalty accounting for sales tracking, not royalty, but sales tracking and royalty accounting for the Fat Boys, Bon Jovi, Robbie Cray, and Vanessa Williams. Yeah, so back then, that was my role, just do the weekly reporting of deals. But when Angie did her video on, I don't know if you saw the video where she talked about the music industry and where's her money at. With reaching out to managers, her managers back then help facilitate some of the missing pieces. Because contracts, how copy of a contract unless, because that's proprietary information.
Yeah, well, you asked me what would I look for. So if anyone was coming to me, they would have to bring that contract. Because at the end of the day, hearsay is not going to get the job done.
Right.
And I don't think managers or lawyers who work with her would be inclined to share the full picture of how she was not being handled properly because it's the job to manage it.
Right, exactly.
So now you got that issue, and managers might, say, well, hey, we asked for this and asked for that. They didn't get it to us. And then the other thing is, to be honest with you, Angie Stone was a cultural kind of, I think, artist that.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, what he's about to say definitely hit home. And that may answer some questions for others as well.
But I don't recall her selling millions and millions of records, to be honest with you. So you got that issue too. People love her, but she's not Whitney Houston. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you know what I'm saying. From a sales perspective, to your point, because you did sales tracking, I don't think she had that level of success. You know what I mean?
Right.
that warrants the screaming of like there's millions of dollars missing. I'm not sure.
Well, most of the money, a lot of the money artists make though she would be making would be on touring, more so than record sales. So
yeah, touring, I don't think that's what she was complaining about. I think she was complaining about, her publishing and her recording sales and royalties not adding up for her. But I don't know her background.
So guys, I'm gonna pause it right there. We're gonna come back to more of Londell in our next video. But few things I start thinking about. Now, Angie was on she was on a lot of people's music. She was touring, but what we really need to see is, especially me, someone who track artists' sales, is we need to see sales reports. We need to see the sales reports dating back to when she was signed to the label. And there has to be some kind of way that we can do an audit. And I say we, those who are interested in getting down to the nitty gritty as to what she made versus what was paid. And that's going to involve a whole lot of research. That's going to involve a whole lot of research. Let's imagine. And I talked to Blondie today as well. And Blondie was one of the members of the sequence. So she too is seeking to get royalties and or monies owed to her because the song Funk You Up, and she told me it was sampled over 100 times. And for those who joined in, that was Londell. That was Londell McMillan, veteran, my guy, official tissue. But there's a lot, and just to think about this, and this is something I also thought about. You're only required to retain corporate records up to a certain point. So at the time when Londell went at the label for Prince's money, Prince was alive. And there were things that were done back then to secure or to make sure they were able to procure business records. So now we have to go back many years, and I say we, not myself, but those that are seeking to find out what is owed to her and see what match the sales reports with. We need to get an idea of what she's made every year and what did the label bring in. And that's a big task. It's an incredibly big task. However, moving forward, now that she has passed, I would argue that her sales of her music is going up. It's going to go up exponentially. So while we cannot, I won't say cannot, but while there may be difficulties in trying to track her whatever assets that are owed to her, there's going to be a better opportunity for the estate to be able to make sure moving forward that the family is protected. That's critical. That is critical. Because, the saying, you can't cry with spilled milk. But we don't know how much that milk was spilled. We don't know. And again, it's about what, even the contracts. I'm a pretty decent record keeper. For example, I've signed releases with people dating back 30 years that I still have. particularly photo releases. Back in the 80s, 90s, I was having people sign releases. Back then, I had releases that people would sign, and I would retain them. I would either scan them in, or I would keep hard copies. So the question is, what contracts exist? Who are the managers throughout her career that can help the family and the attorneys find out what's, and hold on, here's the other part. The labels have a copy of the contract as well. Right. Shout out to B More, DMX. Another artist I worked with, Rough Riders, DMX. So it is, and I want to say back then, Ray Copeland or Uncle Ray was DMX's manager back then. Those who know. And it's going to be a task for them. It's going to be a serious task for them. And hopefully artists are looking at, even the new artists are looking at what happened to artists in the past and how a lot of them were just trying to get put on. A lot of them were trying to get put on. The artists, unless you were like a Stevie Wonder, who was still a legend, is still, making money out of the wazoo. The record keeping, I won't say the record keeping, but there was a lot of shady stuff going on back then. There were a lot of shady stuff going back then. And while Londell was speaking to the what he can do if he had the tools going after the labels, you got to even be careful with your touring. Even getting your back end, your front end. You got to make sure people be doing all kind of weird stuff, like side deals, and it's pretty let's just say shady business. It's a shady business, but it does happen. People do get taken advantage of. Most times artists are focused on the art of music. They leave the other stuff to their accountant, their business manager, their entertainment lawyer, and their tax accountant, their regular accountant, but sometimes it doesn't always pan out the way it should. For example, Young Jeezy is now suing his manager and his accountant. And Jeezy's a working artist right now, and he's going through it right now. And I'm not to say that they did what he's accusing them of, but the fact that he's sued his one of his closest friends, who is their manager and the accountant, that says a lot. And someone say, how do you not see millions go out the door? How do you not see millions? If you're claiming someone owes you millions, how do you not know this? At what point do you bring your team in and say, open the books, let me see what we have. Let me see what we have in the books. And then check the bank accounts and make sure the money's there. Make sure all those wire transfers that are coming in, they are hitting the book, the ledger, and they are hitting the bank statement. So we have to see. We really have to see. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to play the interview of the husband. I want to play Ronnie. I want to put him on real quick. I'm getting some. Listen, guys, I'm getting some text from some people now, and stand by. I'm gonna drop the link for someone. I think they want to come on the show as well, so stand by. Okay, guys. Okay. I'll bring him up in a second, but I want to play the other interview. We're gonna give you guys something very exclusive. We're gonna pull this video over here, so I want you guys to stand by. We're gonna put this on a pull it up here real quickly. Stand by, guys. I'm gonna pull this up here. Oh my goodness. So we're sending the video. I'm sending the video for one of my devices. I also want to play something for some of the people that actually interact with Angie. Let me get Mr. Yeah. But everybody has that same story. Because if you're in that, be better at doing business. Because if you don't, be better at doing business. Because if you don't work. And people. How you doing, Ron? Yeah, I'm good. Ron, you want me? Yeah, Ron. Yeah, I want. Be better at doing business. Because if you don't work. And people will take advantage of you if you let. We're gonna bring the video up, guys. Just give me a second here. You want to share the video and we want to play the video. Judith said my sound is better. Thank you. Sound is better. Okay, we're sending the video over now. Okay. Come on, guys. Here we go. Listen, I'm gonna tell you something. I was running people down. I was running people down. I almost missed them, by the way. I almost missed them. Okay, let me see if I can pull them over here now. I'm gonna pull this video up. Ah, yeah. Right here. Let's see where we got here. Okay. I want you guys to get the wrong footage. There we go. Yeah. Before I play Rodney, I'm gonna bring the other one over. This is someone that I talked to as well. Here we go. So we here outside of the home going for our queen Angie Stone. Can you share some memories about Angie to the world?
Oh, wow. Angie Stone was definitely a role model. She was something that a black woman like me could full figured, big hair, just the bigger than life attitude that I could grow up listening to and like patterning myself after her. So it was just good to have her. It's good to have her. I'm a singer. I love all of her music. She just had that soulfulness and that smooth, just like her voice was like silk, and I just loved it. I loved her. I've got a chance to meet her and be around her a few times, and I just think that she was a wonderful person, and she's definitely going to be truly missed.
What are your favorite songs? Do you have one in particular?
No more clouds in this rain. I mean, no more rain in these clouds. I'm sorry. And Black Brother.
Yes, that's
and
my favorite.
I wish I didn't miss you anymore.
Hey.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you. So someone just made a good point. I saw that comment you made. Because Rodney is and that's an exclusive one. I need to upload that video on the channel. And I need to put a watermark on it. I can play sound. I can play some of the sound, but I think you guys want to see the video. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? You want to see the actual video, or you want to see a sound? Okay, so as far as the yeah, I'm gonna I'm gonna upload Rodney's video to I'm gonna upload the video. I have it here, but I didn't watermark it. We're gonna upload it with a watermark and come back at 9 o'clock and play the video. People want to see the video, and you want to see the other interviews I did. I did several interviews, so we're going to play that. But the exclusive one here is with Londell, as well as Rodney, as well as several other people that I talked to that wanted to get on the record. There were other people that I spoke to that didn't want to get on camera, but they were okay with me talking to them. So certain people, because of the type of situation, is someone passing, they didn't want to get in front of the camera right away. And I respect that. But we can, and someone was talking about the collision report. Again, what I said earlier, that Angie wasn't the last one out the vehicle, and the vehicle literally hit, the truck hit the van, and she was still in the van. So the notion that no one was hurt is incorrect. People were hurt. Everyone in the van was hurt. There were people who showed up at the funeral that were hurt. There was bandage. But I didn't get a chance to see that because you didn't show up to the funeral. You didn't get a chance to see that. But it happened. Let me I know people want to see this video. We're going to put it up shortly, and we're going to play someone else's interview as well. But let's just pause for the cause. And I cannot hear my monitor, and I want to bring someone up on the stage. So I'm going to come back in about 15 minutes. Should take about 15 minutes, and then we'll be able to play the other parts of this. So make sure you lock in.